Well, it's official now. For the 16th year in a row, the NFL has SEC bias. You know, these idiot mouth-breathing, Fruit Loop drooling, Velcro shoe wearing nitwits that run around the internet 365 days a year talking about, the only reason SEC did this or that is because of ESPN. ESPN just sucks off the SEC. Y'all are so, it can't be put into words how dumb you have to be to really think that. 16 years in a row now, the SEC has led all conferences in number of draft picks in the NFL draft. How many national titles does the SEC have? They've won 75% of the titles in what, the last 20 years? They've won the last 3 in a row. It's just insane. It can't be that the SEC just has the best players, the best coaches, honestly, the best fans. It can't be that. Nope, it's got to be ESPN. Well, I guess the NFL's got SEC bias too, like I said, for the 16th year in a row. Georgia had more draft picks in the first round, just in the first round, than the entire ACC. Georgia had more draft picks in the first round than the entire Big 12. Georgia, just Georgia, not the whole SEC, just Georgia, had more draft picks in the first round than the entire Pac-12. It's just ridiculous, the idea that the only reason the SEC is any good or wins games or keeps winning national titles or makes the playoffs or leads the world in draft picks every single year is because they have a TV contract with ESPN. It's just absolutely insane. ESPN has TV contracts with every single conference. I don't know if you people woke up yesterday. I don't know if you people done bumped your head. I don't know what it is. But on ESPN or the ESPN's family of channels, which is ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, the SEC Network, ACC Network. Guess who owns the Longhorn Network? Yep, ESPN. How come Texas isn't winning a bunch of national titles? They have an ACC network now. Shouldn't the ACC be dominating? I mean, I can tune into ESPN late Saturday nights and watch Pac-12 games. I mean, literally every single team plays on either ESPN, ABC, whatsoever. So this thing that they have SEC bias is just absolutely ridiculous. And the only thing I can think of is why fans of the Big Ten or whoever else run around crying that ESPN has SEC bias. It's because you just don't want to come to terms. You just don't want to face the facts or the reality that the SEC just has the best players. The best high school players want to play in the SEC. The SEC's got the best coaches, so when you go there, you get the best development. I don't understand. You're playing the toughest competition in the SEC. I don't get it. I don't understand. Georgia broke the record, most number of players drafted in the modern draft era, which goes back to 1994. That's when they went to 7 rounds. Prior to 1994, they had 8 rounds. At one point, they had 12 rounds. But since they've only had 7 rounds in 1994, Georgia had more players drafted than any other team in any draft ever, period. I think LSU and Ohio State shared the previous record at 14. So y'all can go to the back of the line now with all the rest of the deadbeats, LSU and Ohio State, man. Georgia's sitting at the front of this ship now. Defending national champions. Broke a record for most defensive players drafted in the first round. Broke the record for most overall players drafted in the draft in the modern era. Georgia ain't going nowhere. You already know. But this isn't really a brag about Georgia. This is an SEC thing. And, these other I would never root for a conference. It's so funny to me when I hear somebody from the Pac-12 or the ACC run around or the Big 12. I would never pull for my conference. I pull for my team. That's it. Hey, lady. Hey. You don't have any reason to pull for your conference. Your conference is terrible. Of course you don't go around bragging about your conference. They're not any good. You can't possibly understand. I went over this in detail last offseason. Around this time, a little later, I guess, when it was announced that Texas and Oklahoma were moving to the SEC. Just wait. Texas fans and Oklahoma fans, at some point, 5 years from now, whatever, are going to be running around talking about how great the SEC is. It's going to happen. Now, most of them deny it now, just like Missouri fans and Texas A&M fans denied it when they joined the SEC. But now what do Texas A&M fans run around saying now when you ask them how come they lose 4 games every year? What do they say? Well, we play in the best conference. The SEC is tough. The SEC is tough. We do good. We're in the best conference. The ACC is great. Look how many national titles they win. It's just inevitable. So the rest of you idiots that keep running around thinking the only reason the SEC is any good or keeps winning national titles is because they come on TV on ESPN is just absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, is ESPN tricking the NFL again for the 16th year in a row? Most draft picks of any conference, and it wasn't close, the SEC, period. You guys, I don't know when, the sooner reality sets in, the better. And you know what? Well, it does matter that the fans are delusional. But until your schools and your conferences as a whole start taking football as seriously as the SEC does, these are the results you can expect. You're just not going to beat the SEC. The SEC is going to continue to finish ahead, almost no matter what metric you look at. Head to head against other conferences, the SEC has a better record versus the other Power 5 conferences in the last 20 years than any of the other conferences do. We win the most national titles, most number of All-Americans, most draft picks, most Heisman Trophy winners. I mean, whatever stat you want to look at, the SEC is at the top of the list. And I don't see that changing anytime in the near future. So the best advice I can give to the rest of you is to just get you sucking hind tit.